Hello again to my Florida colleagues. We're back with this last of the second set of presentations in our 3-week course. We're still exploring the many ways to deliver a message. And today we're going to talk about social media and email. There is such a rich and growing array of social media choices out there, it can seem really daunting to get started using them for library marketing. But there's a lot of experience and good counsel out there as well from other librarians and marketers about how to use particular social media platforms. If you're unfamiliar with most of these, choose carefully. Each has strengths for particular messages and particular audiences, dependent not just on length of post or proportion of visuals to text, but subtler matters of tone. If you are not comfortable using a particular platform, don't do it, not until you feel at home there. If, however, you feel that to reach out to, say, the teens in your community, you need a robust presence on Instagram, Snapchat, but you're unfamiliar with either of those, enlist an interested staff member, someone who really likes the platform and knows how to use it to get started. Or open your own personal account and learn your way around. Take some time with it. It's much better to do one or two things well and comprehensively than dabble in a bunch of them. And key, if you're putting a lot of time and energy into developing a social media presence, don't keep it a secret. Invite people to follow you on whichever medium you're using. Be sure people know where to find you. On your webpage, be sure to put follow us links to whichever platforms you use. And similarly, between platforms, send your tweets to Facebook, post your pictures everywhere. Even put this on your print materials. For marketers, one of the most wonderful things about social media is just that. They are social and a way to get two-way conversations going. On your posts, whether Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, invite comments, ask questions, wonder what people are reading. With any photo, post a question or an invitation to action of some kind or comment with it. Aggregating these comments will add up to a sheaf of valuable market research over time. It really is possible to get a sense of trends or future interests in your community or in that segment of the community who's heavy user of that particular social medium. The flip side of the conversational nature of this is the fact that you don't have as much control as you do over more conventional marketing vehicles. There is that tension here between presenting a dignified library front, true to the brand on the one hand, and taking full advantage of the personal, informal, conversational tone of the social media on the other. Facebook is by far the most commonly used social platform. As of this month, September 2016, there were 1.7 billion Facebook registrations. That's global. That's 3 times more than, say, Tumblr at 555 million or Twitter, 313 million. Many of you are probably already using Facebook, but here are some things for you to think about. There can be difficulties in the beginning. One large nonprofit organization I know started a Facebook page some years ago, and within 2 days, the director talked with me about inappropriate posts by a particular staff member and how to set up rules or guidelines for use of Facebook, things that staff would have to follow. It turned out that the staffer had posted inaccurate information, but the problem was mainly that he didn't have complete information going in. So it's important to be sure that any staff who are authorized to post on the library Facebook page have all the information they need to frame the library story accurately. And monitor the page yourself. Keep an eye out for signs of trouble, as well as for good comments. There rarely is any real trouble, and as time goes by, you'll iron out the early difficulties. Another big advantage of Facebook is that you have a remarkable history. For any of you who've had a personal Facebook page for more than a year or two, you know what I'm talking about. It can really be quite moving or illuminating to see what you were up to 5 years ago and what your friends were up to. Same for the library, and even more so. Again, the key to any social medium is to encourage conversation and to listen. There are many Florida libraries with Facebook pages. Here are a few recent posts from the Jacksonville Public Library. Notice in the first post here, it opens with a question, drawing the reader in, and it acknowledges the variety of feelings about ebooks. It doesn't just present a case, and about how the library is meeting challenges. Citing the New York Times here is, of course, a sign of, and linking to the Times, a sign of considerable authority and weight, but the post is framed in a light, inviting way. The second post here, the pictures of the kids, is about the summer learning program, and this accomplishes a great many things. First of all, the parents and children involved are never going to forget this. They probably have reposted to their own pages and sent this to everyone they ever knew. And they will talk to their friends. People who have no children will be charmed. That's important to remember, and will have learned a bit about the library's commitment to families. Twitter is another platform used fairly often by libraries. Among its advantages are brevity and immediacy. It is fast and it is informal. It's marginally more mobile friendly than Facebook, especially for the over 40 set, and you can send your tweets to your Facebook page, coordinating the two. I personally think the discipline of 140 character limit is a healthy practice for those of us who often take too many words to convey what should be a simple message. That's kind of a side effect benefit. This particular tweet here from the Florida Bureau of Library Development is a really good example of several things. It illustrates how you can use a photo as the anchor for a tweet. It links directly to the program that it's talking about. And in this case, the Bureau of Library Development is honoring the work of another library agency. It's quite appropriate for the BLD mission, but there might be ways you could do the same, congratulating another library on an award or highlighting one of their unique programs. Now, on to email. Lots of people are still mostly using email as their primary communication vehicle. But it's unusual to find anyone under 40 who uses email as much as they do other ways of communicating, texting directly, and various social media. So when you're designing an email marketing strategy, consider your demographics first. And then encourage action in the email, whether it's a click through to a program registration page, or a newsletter, or an RSVP, or an interesting article, or a county budget. And remember too that many people are reading on mobile devices. Keep it short, or warn up front, this is a long but important message, save it for when you have time. And craft your subject line with as much care as you would a very important letter. Most emails are deleted before they're opened. Just think about your own use of email. Estimates range from 50 to 90%. A great subject line is one of the ways to ensure that they get read. And again, consider your own email habits. As you scroll down your inbox, what do you choose to open and read? Was there a question in the subject line, or a short quiz invitation, or a personal thank you of some kind? Or do you always open email from a particular very trusted agency, someone you really like and respect? As with all other marketing methods, one of the most powerful things you can do is observe your own reactions and behavior when you are a recipient of other people's marketing efforts. You'll learn a lot about this method if you do that, particularly with email. And don't forget one other thing. Most people really feel stressed if they have a ton of unopened or unanswered emails in their box. You don't want to add to their pain. You really want to engage and delight people. That concludes our speed of light look at social media and email. Continue to pay attention to your own personal use and reaction to electronic communications of all kinds, and identify strengths in these areas on your staff. You'll see here that I mentioned library videos on this slide for the first time. Use of YouTube or Vimeo for short book trailers or recording library programs can be very powerful and lots of fun if you have the time and the staff ready to do it. I've included a little more information about that in your resource list. We'll see you on September 15th at our next online chat session.